I've been playing with this concept of work-centered life design versus dream life design. So what are they? Work-centered life design is where everything is really designed and revolves around work. So whatever you plan outside of work comes second to what you do inside of work. And I know at least one of you watching this has experienced this because I used to do this all the time. My life was work-centered life design all the time. Dream life design is a little bit different. It does not mean sacrificing your work, your career. If that's something you really care about, keep it, of course. But dream life design is a holistic system based on 12 dimensions where work and life are not competing against each other. They're one and the same. So it's looking at how do I design a life across 12 dimensions that support me holistically inside of work and outside of work. Simple concept, but when we think about this whole idea of work-life balance, we're constantly pitting them against each other. I have to have this balance, otherwise something is off. And I don't believe that's true. So you probably already know the benefits of work-centered life design. It allows you to accelerate in your career really quickly. You've probably received multiple promotions, raises, changes in job title. It really looks good from the outside. Your resume is glowing. But there are also the challenges. The challenges is that it's binary. It's work versus life. It sees them as two distinct things, saying like, hi, I'm work Rachel. Hi, I'm life Rachel. You're just Rachel, right? Or your name. So how do we start to bridge that? That's one challenge. The second challenge is over the long term, it tends to lead to career dissatisfaction. The reason why is you're probably burning out, you're exhausted, you're working towards a lot more external validation versus the internal motivation that you have. And at a certain point, it's like, does this really matter? And so when your career maybe lit you up and it starts to become the question of, how do I get out of this? The third is there is a tendency to sacrifice your life outside of the workplace, your well-being, your relationships, the things that bring you joy, because they feel secondary. These things are really fuel for success and satisfaction in your career. So what are the benefits of moving to dream life design? Well, one, it's more sustainable. You can still be ambitious. You can still hit big goals. The difference is you're ditching the burnout, you're ditching the exhaustion, you're ditching the stress, you're ditching the anxiety, and you're really going for something that feels just as good on the inside as it does on the outside. The second is it's holistic. It supports you across 12 dimensions of your life. And so when you look at these 12 dimensions, there's the question of, what am I doing inside of work? What am I doing outside of work to support this dimension, right? So the dimension of emotions, the dimension of wealth, the dimension of social, the dimension of joy, the dimension of growth, right? All of these show up inside and outside of work. So when you design a system that supports you in all dimensions of life, you create a closed loop of support, of like an energy that continues to cycle versus energy that's just being thrown off in directions and you're left with no energy. You'll also feel more fulfillment and meaning both inside and outside of work. This is something that's so important when I work with my clients: contribution, impact, meaning, purpose. It's such an important driver for them. And a lot of it's in career, but there are also elements outside of career that they need to make sure they have that balance. And then lastly, you'll feel more calm, you'll feel more grounded, you'll feel more clarity. And it just feels good to have that be your baseline, instead of the baseline of always being in fight or flight mode with racing thoughts up in the middle of the night, feeling anxious or overwhelmed and trying to kind of, when my clients come in, I see a lot of like, they're emotionally, I'm like this. It's like, well, that's good. Like emotions are normal. They go up and down, but how can we maybe make them like this? So they're a little smoother. They're like nice little baby waves to ride versus like a giant big wave and you're a beginner surfer. All right. So I've got a few questions for you to help you reflect on if you're living a work-centered life versus a dream life design. What does your life look like today in terms of design? Is it more work-centered life design or is it dream life design? And to what extent? How does your current life design impact you in the day-to-day? Your well-being, your mental clarity, how you feel, what you see as success. How does it impact you? And what is it holding you back from? And what is it propelling you toward? And the last one, where do you see opportunity for change? And how would that change really impact your life? How would it impact your greater vision, your goals, the things that really make you feel alive? And then those deeper things within your vision. Let me know what you think about this concept in the comments below, and I will see you next time. All right, ciao, ciao for now.